Welcome to the Business Buyer Diaries. My name is Nathan Platter. I'm a full-time employee, and I bought a business. I did everything right, from finding the deal, handling all the due diligence on 63 opportunities, and ultimately bought a profitable gym. And boy, was I in for a big surprise as a new owner. I chronicled everything in real time, including the biggest wins to the stressful nights at 2 a.m. I'm sharing my journey without sugarcoating anything, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Here's today's episode.
All right. Well, just finished the weekly one-on-one with the manager. Went really well. Covered a lot of logistical stuff with this current 10-week session. One thing we're doing was we're sending out handwritten thank you cards. So thanks for being a part of the studio. Glad to have you and all that good stuff. Something that I'm kind of curious to test. So we are doing auto enrollment with the challengers. So when they join, they buy the 10-week session. And then at the end of the 10-week session, every member is part of our monthly membership program as soon as the session is over. So like for us, challenge ends on like a Friday, or no, on a Saturday, the 23rd. And on Monday, the 25th, everyone will be charged their monthly membership rate going forward, which is our normal rate. No commitments, no tie downs or cancellation, whatever's. But that's something we're upfront with verbally. So just to confirm with people like that's indeed what happens, 2 weeks before the 25th, that Monday. So on the 11th or the 9th, we'll email people their weekly email like, hey, it's week 1, week 2, week 3. Just as a heads up, on this date at the 25th, since you are now a monthly member at our studio, you will be charged, I think it's going to be $179 or $170, because we know you love our studio and you want to stay. And so if folks want to cancel or whatever, like we have that outbound email documented. If there's a question or a confusion, we can say, well, hey, it's in your contract. We also email that out to you. I'm sorry if you missed the first month's payment. If you want to cancel the second month's payment, that's fine. But if folks, it bugs me, but when folks don't even like reach out to you, they just submit a chargeback to their bank because they don't want to try to resolve it human to human. We now have email and contract documentation that they sign up for a monthly membership. And hopefully the chargeback will win back in your favor. Chargebacks are still pretty rare. I think we've had like 1 or 2 in like the past 1,000 memberships that we've sold. So I don't even know. I don't know the right rates. I'm not going to quote them here because I don't know. But they're pretty rare. And so you want to have documentation on that side of things for the business owner perspective. But that's something that we're doing. So out of our 72 members, I thought, well, we'll have an 80% retention rate. And the manager was like, oh, that's actually pretty high. Normally we have like a 50% retention or like 60%. So I said, okay, well, let's go with historical. Let's go with 60% because we have this auto enrollment. We're not chasing people around. Like everyone's already set up to have this. So let's just go with 60%. 60% of 72 is what, like 50? Or no, 40. Let's go with 40. 40 times 170, that's 6,800. It's like right then and there as a gym, we're break even. I mean, it's still my loan payment as a business owner, but like the studio is like, we're fine. Like we're stable. Like we're good. And so all that to say, when I get anxious about finances, when I'm uneasy about where we're at, when I'm not confident that there's going to be a pan out, I'm learning, apart from prayer, I think prayer would be far more important. But I had to remind myself, like, okay, like, do we have a way forward? Do we have a way to go down this route? Like, what is available? Is this even fixable? First off, can we fix this? Well, yes. How can we fix this? Well, here's a route. And so at the end of the day, like, we'll be fine. And this is one route that like, hey, we're losing a couple thousand a month. Cool. Come mid-March, like we're fine. Like February will probably be a tougher month. There's nothing really to sell, unfortunately. And so our expenses will outpace our revenue. And so at the end of the day, like we're doing the best we can and we have a route forward. And we'll be break even. And that's why I paused. I want to drive and process this. So mid-March, we'll be break even. March, fast forward 3 months. April, May, June, end of June, will be the end of our next session. At that point, assuming we can have another decent challenge turnout, this thing will be able to cover the SBA loan payment from the sign up as well as from the retention. And folks churn. Unfortunately, that's part of the business that's not being factored in. But come June, July, like this thing can be able to cover all the costs of ownership. Fast forward 3 months after June, July, August, September. Okay, that thing can be profitable. October, November, December, with all some big payment months, like this thing can and will be profitable. And thinking out loud with my head manager, who's like my go-to person, because she's relying on me to pay her income and to cover her bills. And I want to be open with her, like, hey, here's where we're at. I'm not like disclosing like what I make at my day job or like my personal stuff. Like, hey, here's where for the gym. Here's where we're at. Oh, and there's still a loan payment, but like she is like she's on paper seeing the financials of it. I'm not showing like the QuickBooks, like my personal bank account, because that's a little bit of extra work to get to all that to then show it. But I want to have my manager. The more I am invested in my manager, the more I believe, the more inclined my manager is going to be invested in the business. Unless the business manager like wants to get a new job or work somewhere else, like they're emotionally and mentally bought into the studio. Like they are part of this challenge that we're doing. I'm just pausing right there because it's a big trust, so much trust. For losing a manager, I don't know. I would be in a bind. I don't know who my backup would be. So at the end, I told her like, hey, like, so good or a bad idea, I don't know. But if the studio is going to end up having to shut down one day, I told her joking, like, we're good through the end of the calendar year. The studio's going to be open through the calendar year. Kind of tongue in cheek, but also like realistic. I told her like, if one commitment I'm going to make is if at the end of all this, the studio can't stay open, can't stay solvent, and has to shut down, I want to give my head, everyone who's relying on the gym for their livelihood, I want to give people 3 months heads up if that's where it's going to end up going. And that's a trust thing that please don't blare that to the world, but I want to give people ample time to make sure their home life is covered, that they can buy groceries, they can pay their rent, their mortgage, while they find a job that I can't provide for them. Because my job is to help take care of people. And if I'm going to stop taking care of people, what kind of shepherd am I to say, yep, I'm done. You're on your own, sheep. Go fight the wolves by yourself. What kind of leader is that? For real. I think if you can honor and trust people like that, 9 times out of 10, not 10 out of 10, but 9 times out of 10, they'll go look for other work. They'll be helpful in a transition or a wind down, make your life smoother, cleaner. But they'll do, I think 9 times out of 10, people will do right by you too. So like, hey, Nathan, making this up. Hey, Nathan, I can't work at the gym anymore. I actually got a job over at a competitor across town, or I'm going to go work at Subway, or I'm going to go finally be a dermatologist or whatever. Instead of giving you like 2 weeks notice or just being done this week, I'm going to stick out here for 1 more month. I think people will do right and help you out a little more if they can see that you're putting your neck out to help other people. 9 times out of 10, not 10, but 9 times out of 10. So that's the risk I'm taking right now. That's the risk I want to do. And Lord, I hope I'm making the right decisions along the way. Trusting people, I'm believing the best in people, taking risks on people, and Lord, help this come full circle. So what does that mean today? That means today I'm going back to work my day job. Gonna work out another late evening because that's what I've been doing the past couple of weeks, 10 to 12 hours a day at the day job. I'm going to keep doing what I can to advocate for my staff, and doggone it, we're going to make this thing work. This gym is going to be profitable. Here's a curve on it. The manager's like, well, you over. I told her like, hey, I paid $500 know what I know now, I think the studio should have been worth like 200, maybe 250. She said, "Oh, it's funny you say that." After the sale happened, one of the other members, who's like a professional accountant, just ran some numbers in her head. She said, "I probably would not pay a cent over 300 for it." And so no one knows what I paid for it, other than after listening to the podcast. My management team knows what I paid for it. But just anyhow, it's just funny. It's funny how other people could see like kind of evaluation, and I was overly optimistic. But all that said, either here nor there, that no, if I'm going to have something that's going to be sellable, I'm not going to be able to sell this for probably 5 years. I have to be able to pay down the loan. I need to make sure I'm financially solvent so that I don't take a massive ding on a sale. And so, like, at the fastest, if everything went perfect, 5 years, like, I can't sell this thing. I'm here for the long haul. This isn't a fixed up project. I bought this as a perfectly fixed up thing. So I have to make this extravagantly an extravagant fixed upper, or I just got to hang on until it organically goes up in value. So yeah, I'm here. I'm not, I can't go anywhere. For better or worse, here I am. And so I want to be open and transparent with people. I know businesses change hands, they sell, they turn back and forth. And right now, I've got what I've got. So that's where we're at. That's where we're going. I joke, yeah, kind of funny as we're wrapping up. I'd like to own a couple studios. This one's been more work than I thought. I don't think I can really do 5. I can maybe do 2 or 3. I don't know. But what I'd really like to do is this like business consulting thing. I had like 200 podcast episodes recorded. And then she stopped me like, wait, hold up. You got 200? Why haven't you released them yet? Like, why aren't you doing something with this? So like, oh, that's actually a good question. I don't know. I'm waiting for the right time. When is the right time? Well, I don't know. Like, maybe I should start releasing these. I don't know. I met the owner or the sellers of the studio. What's a good track record? I met the sellers of the studio back in August, July. When was that? Baby girl was born in March. I met them. When did I meet them? May? I think I shook hands and broke bread with them like May, April. It's February now. Has it really been a year since I first learned about this business? Well, it's been 10 months. Anyhow, what that all means. Yes. Sorry, my car is rattling like crazy. Let's drive bonkers. So yeah, folks are optimistic that this will turn around. Folks are wanting this. My friend groups know that this can turn around. Some mentors see that I can turn this around. My manager, I'm keeping in the loop on all this, like where things are at, where we're going. They're turning it around. I think I'm finally starting to think end of February, things can turn around. Probably helps that it's a sunny day and it's not another cloudy, dreary, gloomy day. So, planning to move out of Minnesota. Get some better weather. I'm going to stop yapping. We're at 13 minutes. The point of today, keep your staff in the loop. Be open with where you're at. Trust people. Be willing to get hurt 1 time out of 10. Invest where you can. Take the best decisions you can with what you know. And don't worry about the output, because you can't control the output. You can control the input. That's right. That's where we're going. That's where I can roll.
This has been another episode of the Business Buyer Diaries. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. I hope you're realizing that business ownership is no cakewalk. Check the podcast notes for a link to the DIY due diligence program, the complete list of show sponsors, and for media inquiries. Music written and composed by Wes Schrock. I'm your host, Nathan Platter. Join me again on the next one.